Hi guys. Today, excuse me, I would like to show you all how you can utilize your leftovers. Today I have leftover roast potatoes and carrots that I fixed for supper the other night, and I had quite a few leftovers from that meal. So you could make roast beef sandwiches, which is always good, or barbecue, which is also good. But I decided to turn this into another meal. I'm gonna dice the leftover potatoes and carrots and the roast beef, and I saved the gravy from the meal as well. And I will be putting this into a pie crust and making a beef pot pie for my family tonight. Stay tuned and see how easy this is to get a second meal for your family. Okay, I just stored my leftovers in my refrigerator in Ziploc gallon-sized Ziploc freezer bags, because I knew I would want to use these again. So I have, oh, the gravy is in here with the veggies. Okay, that'll be interesting, but we'll do it. We are just going to chop into bite-sized pieces for our pie. This is a delicious way to use leftovers, and my family loves it. Something else you could do with leftover roast and vegetables, you could make a beef broth. You could actually use canned beef broth from the store and dice onions and celery and cook that on low until the onions and celery are soft. And then once again, chop your carrots, potatoes, and meat into bite-sized pieces and add that, and you will have a nice beef stew. I serve my beef stew with rice or cornbread, and my family also loves that. So I love using my leftovers. There's always things to do with food that's left over. It's good on the budget, and it's good on your menu planning, and your family will love it. I had just made a video how to make a pie crust. So if you choose to not go to the store and buy a pie crust, or if you'd like to learn how to make your own, if you've been looking for a fail-proof, I call it fail-proof because this pie crust recipe has never failed me yet. I just uploaded this video, and that will be the pie crust that we're using for our pie tonight. I use this pie crust for turkey pot pie, beef pot pie, apple, pumpkin, any pie I ever use, I always use that particular pie crust. And the recipes will always be left in the description box below, so you can always find my recipes in the description. Feel free to leave comments or questions. I would love to hear from you. Ideas, I would love to hear ideas. See, this is going very fast. I made my beef roast the other day. I salted and peppered it, and I sliced an onion and placed an onion. I actually, before I put the onion on, I poked holes in my beef roast. Something that tenderizes the meat and also helps the flavors kind of soak in a little bit. So I poked my holes, and then I sliced an onion and placed the onion slices over the roast. And I baked it really low until it was done. About an hour before time to serve, I placed my carrots and potatoes in so they could cook as the roast finished its cooking time. And that also is a very easy meal. I served my roast that night. I believe I served peas with it besides the carrots and potatoes. What I'll do when I get this all chopped up is I will put it on the stove on low and bring it back to temperature, let it get real good and warm. And then I will thicken. I will put 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and a teaspoon of water in a cup to use as my thickening agent. And I'll thicken this before I put it in my pie crust. You could do this with any kind of leftover meat. You could do this with ham and potatoes and broccoli, or ham and cauliflower broccoli. You could do it with any beef or pork, chicken, turkey. And if I end up with a lot of pie filling, a lot of meat and potatoes, more than what I need for one pie crust, I will make another pie crust and go ahead and make up a second pie and put that in the freezer. And how awesome is that, to get 3 meals out of a beef roast instead of just 1 meal. I love having things in the freezer. I love being prepared ahead of time. It helps me so much. Okay, so there's our veggies. I don't suppose you can see. There's the bowl I'm using. There's quite a bit there. I might have enough for 2 pies. I'll just have to see. There's a huge amount of roast beef left over. There's still an onion, a couple of onions on top. I'm just gonna chop those up and throw them in with my vegetables. That'll be very tasty in the pie. All right, here we go. I don't know how to really start chopping on the meat. It's gonna be a little bit harder because it's cold. All right, there we go. That's not bad. I will also trim the fat off before I put that in with my vegetables. We'll trim it up for a while. It's actually a very lean roast, but along the bottom there was a rind of fat. So okay, yeah, just trim that off right there. And drop it right in the bowl with your veggies. Okay. Oops. I meant for that to go over there in the scrap pile. Those are a little bit big. There's our pie filling simmering nicely. Oop, it's steaming up my camera. Okay, so we'll get this in the pie crust and be back with you shortly. Okay, so I've rolled out the lid to our pie. Now I will go get our, I'm gonna just have this folded and waiting to put on top of the pie. Here's our pie filling ingredients. I will go ahead and fill up our pie shell. I don't know if you can see. There we go, that's better. All right. Smells really good. I've had it cooking on the stove on low for about, oh, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. I wanted to heat it up very slowly on low heat. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to take my pie crust lid and I'm going to place it on just like I placed the bottom. I'm going to very gently lay it on. Okay. Then I take, oh, right there, I don't, just try to, I kind of fold it over and pinch. And that does make a lot of extra crust at the edges, but that's kind of how we like it. So we just go around, sealing the edges. Except right there. Yep, there I got it. All right. There we go. And I always cut just a little design to let the pie vent while it's baking. Okay, so we'll pop this in the oven for about 45 minutes and then we'll be back and show you the finished product. And there's our finished product, fresh from the oven. A nice, pretty beef pot pie. My family will love it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and leave me comments if there's anything you would like to share or ask questions or have a comment for me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.